When it comes to security, I've seen so many solutions provider out there. There's obviously a lot of no ends of solutions provider that provide really advanced solutions. So we pride ourselves for having a holistic approach, having an end-to-end solutions from the most basics of the infrastructure securities to the data encryptions, DDoS protections, all the way up to the applications layer protections. And why is that so? Sometimes we have to get back to the basic and look at the whole thing. What is the definition of security? Security is what we do to help ensure an information and a system like maintains the confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Sometimes you focus a lot on data breach, you focus on application hackings, but you forgot to just do the most basic things to keep your website up. One of the great examples are QNet attack, that's been happening, across Europe and Asia Pacific and just got into America recently, just back in September, actually back in October. There were a lot of US airport getting attacked and some of them got shut down, even though it was very briefly. Guess what? Most of them has sophisticated security solutions. They are actually using solutions from a lot of our largest competitor out there. So how do they go down? Right? Sometimes they focus on one part, like application hackings, whatever they put the best DDoS solutions on the edge on just their web applications, but they forgot to actually protect the rest of their systems or their original infrastructure. So our approach is that we want to provide you all of the advanced solutions, but we also want to make sure that we provide the entire 360-degree protections across your network and your applications. Essentially, everything that's exposed to the internet needs to be protected, not just your login page or your website and API endpoint. Now, this is just our approach. When it comes to what makes us different, right? In general, when you deal with security, most organizations would allocate their budgets or their efforts into just one of the three buckets. We're talking about the preventions of an attack, the detection of an attack, as well as the response to the attack. But most organizations focus heavily on the prevention piece. So like you try to avoid getting attacked. But if you really look at things, right, just like a human, people get sick. You cannot eat vitamin, do exercise, have good habits, right? People get sick one way or another. So it's important to actually put in enough efforts on the detections as well as the response piece. So with Edgio solutions, we actually provide a lot of capability that allows people to actually get a good detections of all of the traffic in and out of the network using our sophisticated edge platform as well as our web application firewall, right? As well as providing capability such as instant propagations or config deployment, dual WAF feature, which allows customers to actually run two WAF at the same time so that they can actually upgrade one WAF while having the other WAF do the mitigations at the same time, right? To actually ensure that they're able to, in the quickest time, respond to any 0 days vulnerability. So to kind of sum up, right, what we do better than a lot of our competitor is to actually make sure that the security operations team from a customer gets things done fast. When it counts, usually what meant by when it counts is I meant 0 days vulnerability. You want to make sure that 0 day vulnerability are being taken care of in terms of detecting any exploit using those vulnerability. Because if there's an exploit, is a threat to your organizations, and being able to respond to that using whatever solutions and tool sets would provide to you. With that platform, we want to provide you again, it goes back to the holisticness of the solutions, right? We want to provide you the most holistic application platform that is edge enabled and massive scale that allows you to protect your sites, accelerate your website performance through a lot of advanced application layers, accelerations, technologies. And finally, we want to improve your development velocity, right? That platform is designed to allow you to host a next generation headless platform that lets you decouple your front end and your back end and be able to accelerate the velocity of you improving and updating your website, right? So if I were to sum up, right, there's the three things I want to do: security, performance, and velocity of the development. And I'm going to go specific here, right, into. So in these three segments in app platforms, it starts with a Edgio security in the application platform. We are, as we mentioned, we have holistic security from encryptions to DDoS protections to advanced web application and API protections, and finally a bot management, which allows us to detect automated traffic, categorize them, and give you an option on how to mitigate those bad bots. From the performance side, we have App Performance Platform, which is a next generation CDN. On top of just caching, CDN is a content delivery network, but this is a next generation content delivery network. We provide technologies such as predictive prefetching. Predictive prefetching, right? It utilizes advanced kind of machine learning method by collecting data from a client side. We look at when you browse a page, we have a way to predict where's the next page the user most likely will click into, and we'll proactively download those pages. So by the time you click into the next page, the page is already loaded and available on the edge in the client, and the user can just pop the page open instantly. This is a way to achieve instant page load time. And there are many other applications performance enhancements we're doing, right? So, but this is one of the great example of what a next generation CDN can do for you to improve your performance. And finally, as I mentioned, we call it a Edgio app platform site capability that allows you to deploy a front-end applications with more than 40 different framework like Amber JS, like Next.js, etc., and deploy them 100% and run them on the edge network using the latest headless Jamstack technology to really achieve not just fast performance, but also high velocity software development. So this is the three components makes up the latest Edgio applications platform. It's funny, speaking about internet traffic, I recently read an article from pretty authoritative outlet, right? The data shows that 42% of the entire internet traffic are automated. They're from bots, not humans. This is significant portions, right? I mean, assuming if those are bad bots, which is a large portion of them, that is a significant waste of bandwidth and resources across the board, right? From a customer perspective, right? At the most basic, is a needless consumptions of their infrastructure resources, their cloud, infrastructures, their network resources, right? Is an additional cost that they don't need to have, right? But that's just the most basic, right? But there's also like other like more severe implications. Some of those bots are performing real attack. We're talking about credential stuffing, account takeover, fake account creations, and additional all kind of fraud, especially to websites where you allow customers to log in and do a lot of business critical stuff, even including like online banking. So Edgio, right? We runs about 5 to 6% of the internet. So we have a lot of data, right? And we seize a lot of the traffic coming in and out of our platforms. And we utilize this machine learning technologies. So actually on the server side, to actually look at those traffic. And we're able to not just identify bots, but we're able to categorize bots. So in general, there's a few category of bot. Again, depending on which organization likes to slice and dice the bot, but you generally have known bot and unknown bot. They're the bots that declare themselves. Amongst the known bot, you also have good bot and bad bot. While I say 42% of the internet traffic is bot, right? Not all of them are bad. There are business critical automations that you need to maintain and unblock. So like Googlebot, for example, SEO block, right? All of this, your partners might be running bots to query your API to make sure that they get the most business critical information from you. That without that, it might be interruptions to your business. So having the ability that Edgio provides you to be able to categorize, here's a list of the good bot that we've detected, and here's a list of the bad bot that we've detected. Give you the options of not just mitigating the bad bot to prevent them from attacking a website through, for example, serving them CAPTCHA or just blocking them outright, but also give you the visibility, like and the ability to monitor those good bot traffics to ensure that nothing weird is going on. So for example, we give you the ability to see why is there a sudden dip in the Google bot traffic. You may have released the wrong code, right? So we give you the visibility to like track those things. This is why it's very, very important emphasis, right? We call this bot management, but a lot of providers in the industry call it bot mitigations. We're not just doing bot mitigation; we're actually doing bot management. In bot mitigation is just a subset of bot management. Bot management provides the mitigations of bad bot, but also the visibility that you needed, as well as the management that you needed for all types of bot, good and bad. The answer is simple, right? With limited budgets, with the amount of impact that security has, like for example, every data breach on average costs a company $4 million. And I've also seen data from a reliable source that says that on average a company lost 8.6% of their total valuations, like whenever they got breached, right? So depending on the size of your company, right? If you're a big company, this represents billions of dollars of valuation loss. If you're a small company, right, losing that amount of valuations means the end of your business, right? It could be an existential crisis. So with limited amount of budgets, right, you want to make the best bang for the bucks, right? It means I know it might be generic, but having the right solutions, the capability, as well as the process in place. I'd like to get back to my previous thinking about categorizing things into like prevention, detections, and response bucket. I think it starts with setting the right culture as well as the right expectations with your executive team. A lot of organization has this idea that you got to have 100% security. Now, 100% security is an illusion. There's no such thing as 100% security. Just like you cannot guarantee you never get sick, right? We have to first and foremost, if you're a CISO, for example, a security leaders, right? You need to set that expectation right with your shareholder, with your executive team, to know that security is here as a business enabler, right? 100% security means 0% functionality. Well, security, and I have a great analogies, right? Security should be treated like having a good brake in a great car. Now, having a good brakes allows you to go faster. If you're a car person, every supercar has a massive brake because having a brake give you the flexibility and the confidence to move fast, knowing that you can slow down and brake and corner like as fast as you can. So security should be treated this way. And in order, you need to be able to invest your budgets. Again, the reason why we're saying no 100% security is because in order to achieve 100% security, you put all of your effort into prevention, just so that there's absolutely no risk. But what happens when there's a 0 days? What happens if you're actively getting DDoS attacked right now? You can't prevent a hacker from attacking you. You don't control that, right? What you can control is having the ability to quickly respond to that. And of course, have the visibility. You cannot respond to an attack if you cannot see them. Having the ability to see them and mitigate them as quickly as possible by implementing the right solutions. Of course, in this case, we, as Edgio security, we hope to provide you the solutions, right? To allow you to quickly respond to that. You want to have a solutions that doesn't just charge you more as you get attacked, right? You want a solutions that provides you a consistent billing so that you know how much money you're spending. You have a predictable business model, right? So that your bill doesn't grow with the amount of attack that you're getting. So that's my sort of a high level answer to your questions. We currently have a pretty large presence of deployments in the Middle East, where we're talking about a point of presence of POPs deployments. So we're edge platform, so we try to be everywhere, and we try to look at the market and see which one a heavy area of growth. And we see Middle East as a very important high growth areas that we want to take our business into, not just general web performance, web CDN platform business, but also security, because there's a lot of great companies in the Middle East that we want to work with, right? So our current presence in Middle East includes multiple point of presence in locations such as Jeddah, Dubai, and Istanbul, and multiple locations. And we're always looking to expand, because by having more point of presence in more locations, we can minimize. We want to be within, like tens of seconds of latency between all the Middle Eastern viewers or like web users, right? To ensure that we provide you the best performance and the adoptions of our security solutions. Application platform, Edgio application platform is a high growth area, and we're looking forward to massively increase our presence as well, not just from a marketing perspective, but also physically, right? Having the infrastructure, expanding the infrastructure in 2023, 2024 in the Middle East to ensure that we provide the lowest latency and ensures that we have our full sets of solutions and capability locally in every major regions in Middle East. So we're gonna have a whole bunch of security enhancements that we want to make it available to the world, including our customers in the Middle East. So I would expect a lot of security enhancements on top of our existing robust security solutions coming into the next year as well.